Hello and welcome, JBA fans. I'm your host, King L5, and today I am bringing you my Week 1 match in the JBA versus Matt, over there, coach of the Arizona Dianciebacks. Now, Matt does not have the greatest track record in the JBA. He has never made playoffs in the 3 seasons that he's participated in so far, but he's hoping to make playoffs in this one at least. So let's see if we can kind of get him off to a bad start and just completely destroy him. So let's go into my team real quick and my prep. So I first noticed that Sharpedo is a pretty nice set versus him. I'm actually rocking the agility set this week. I have enough speed so that I outspeed Scarf Togekiss at +1, and that's because he has Sticky Web. Now, if I'm unable to Rapid Spin versus his team, because he does have a Bayonet, Mega Bayonet that he could have brought to block my Rapid Spin with Serena, then I'd be at -1, and once I set up the agility, if I get an opportunity, then I would be at +1. So I do hit 285 speed on this Sharpedo with the Adamant Nature, so I can outspeed Scarf Togekiss at +1. That's basically what the speed is for, Adamant Max Attack, and my moveset is Crunch, Waterfall, and Psychic Things for the Chestnut, should he choose to bring that, which he didn't. But in this case, Crunch and Waterfall is all I need to hit his entire team, neutrally or for super effective damage. This is also one of my checks for Cresselia, as Crunch does a huge amount of damage. I'm definitely expecting him to be Culver Berry to kind of mitigate that damage, but he can't OHKO me because Sharpedo is actually not as frail as people think. It actually can take a Moonblast from that thing, unless it's like set up to +6, which in case I just get blown back, but we're not going to let that happen. So moving on to my next Pokemon, we've got the Latios. Running the Life Orb this week, I have the Thunderbolt, Surf, Psychic, and Draco Meteor for just 4 attacks, just for the most wall-breaking potential on his team because he has no good answer to my coverage. I have the Surf for the potential Steelix that he could have brought, and I have Thunderbolt for the Empoleon and the Togekiss, and then Psychic Draco are just really good stabs that hit his entire team really hard. I'm just timid, max speed, max special attack to outspeed the Galvantula, and it's just generally a really solid offensive Pokemon versus his team. Next up I have Serena, which is going to be Choice Scarf this week. I outspeed his entire draft on just by having a Scarf. This also kind of lets me mitigate these sticky webs, and I can Rapid Spin versus slower things and get rid of those webs. Also, if he brings potential hazard stacking Crustle, I can get rid of those just immediately. But yeah, that's going to be my hazard removal for the week. Rapid Spin, High Jump Kick, because it gets that, and it's pretty nice coverage versus his team in general. And it doesn't really have any other better options in coverage. Drop Kick, kind of a bad stab move, but it's the only thing it gets, so I'm not going to complain too much. It's still a pretty good move. It drops attack at 100% of the time, so it's pretty nice. And I have U-Turn for momentum. Pretty decent Scarfer versus his team. Next up I have Infernape. I'm rocking the Z move on this thing, which is going to be Fire Emblem Z Inferno Overdrive, and my set is enough speed to outspeed something. Let me see, what was it? I believe it was the Kyurem Black that I want to outspeed before webs. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I am Nasty Plot with Fire Blast, Vacuum Wave, and Flame Charge. So if I get off a Nasty Plot plus a Flame Charge, I basically just win the game right there. All I need is some damage on Salazzle, and if I'm +2, an Inferno Overdrive just kills that thing, so unless I need to use my Inferno Overdrive on something else, that's not going to be stopping my sweep. And yeah, I have the Vacuum Wave for just nice fighting stab, and it's just nice priority versus his team. Hits the Galvantula without risking a Fire Blast to miss, or not the Galvantula, that Steelix, which at +2 will hurt. It hits the Empoleon without missing. It can also hit Ditto, which I was kind of not expecting, but I didn't want to get swept by my own Infernape. And so my Infernape is kind of designed to beat itself, as when Ditto comes in, I can always just go for the Flame Charge, and then I can outspeed him that turn and go for the well, not outspeed, not necessarily, but I have ways to outplay that thing with the Vacuum Wave and Nasty Plot. But anyways, moving on to my next Pokemon, it's going to be the Nidoqueen. I have the Life Orb Sheer Force set this week because it just hits incredibly hard. I have Stealth Rock, Toxic for the Cresselia, I'm actually speed creeping that thing as well as just dual stabs because I don't really need any coverage versus his team. My dual stabs just hit everything incredibly hard. Not really much else to say about that. Pretty bulky with max special attack and some speed. Just generally a nice offensive and defensive Pokemon versus him. Next up I have my last Pokemon, and it's going to be my Ferrothorn, which is going to be Okaberry this week, which serves a few purposes. Allows me to take a hit from Salazzle if I need to, because I am max special defense, as well as let me switch into a potential HP Fire Kyurem Black, which I definitely thought was coming, but as you can see on your screen, it did not. So Ferrothorn not going to be too important this week. I can kind of play more recklessly with it and get up my spikes without having to worry about keeping it healthy. Speaking of spikes, my moveset is Spikes, Gyro Ball, Leech Seed, and Knockoff. I wanted to run Knockoff so I could get rid of the potential Colder Berry on the Cresselia for my Mega Sharpedo to sweep late game potentially, as well as just removing items is just really nice in general. But yeah, another use for Okaberry is I can take a Fire Blast from Togekiss, HP Fire from Empoleon wanting to defog on me, and just random fire coverage like that. So now that you know my team, let's get right into the game. I'm going to set this on normal speed. And he leads off with his Salazzle, as I lead off with my Nidoqueen for rocks, basically. And now he makes a really good play, goes for the taunt on my rocks, and so I'm basically denied rocks. Here, I'm going to go with the Sludge Wave just to break the balloon, as he actually switches out into the Cresselia, and I'm just going to switch out here to the Ferrothorn, as I want to get up my hazards if I can, as well as get rid of the Colder Berry. I forget what I do here. I either knock off or I go for these spikes. I do go for the knockoff. Get a crit on the Empoleon, not going to end up mattering too much. Would have done about 19 instead of 28, but yeah, not a big deal. He gets up his rocks. I'm just going to set up my spikes because his only form of hazard removal is defog. If I hazard stack, he's going to be forced to defog his own hazards away as well. And yeah, I'm just going to go for the knockoff here, I believe, just trying to get rid of that Colder Berry that I do expect on the Cresselia as he goes into his Empoleon and does defog away both hazards, so kind of redundant series of turns apart from him just whittling his Empoleon. I'm going to set up my spikes because at the end of the day I will have a spike up versus this thing, guaranteed. As he goes out into the Salazzle, I don't want to pop my Okaberry if I don't have to, as it could be useful later. I'm going to go into my Latios, which is a pretty safe switch. He's going to go for the taunt. I'm not sure why. He told me after the game that he really wanted to prevent a potential Calm Mind, but Calm Mind Latios didn't make a whole lot of sense versus his team, hence why I didn't bring it. And he's just going to die to Psychic here, losing his Salazzle and his main check to Infernape. So Infernape just got a whole lot scarier for him. As he goes into his Togekiss, the way he brought it in, I should have assumed this was Scarf, but here he kind of confirms it, goes for the Air Slash, does of course flinch me, but now I'm going to switch out, preserve my differential if I can, go into the Ferrothorn as I know he's choice locked into that, he can't go for Fire Blast on me, and I'm full Spit F, so it's not going to be doing any damage. As here I'm just going to go for the knockoff, predicting the Empoleon to come in, didn't want to miss a Leech Seed, as well as if he did stay in, getting rid of the Scarf just completely neuters that thing, and just allows my offensive Pokemon to outspeed it and just knock it out. So in comes the Galvantula on my Ferrothorn. I am just going to switch out into my Nidoqueen, basically a full counter to this thing. HP Ice isn't going to be doing a lot of damage even if he did have it, which apparently he does not. I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks, as if I set up my Rocks and my Spikes, his Crustle comes in at 62% and it's not going to be able to set up his Shell Smash, which is kind of like the last threatening thing on his team, aside from Scarf's Togekiss, which definitely can win. I mean, Air Slash is a really good move, and I don't have any Scarfers that outspeed it. But yeah, so he sets up a Calm Mind with his Cresselia. I'm going to go out into my Ferrothorn, which just walls this thing, and once I get up a Leech Seed, he can't actually break my Ferrothorn with anything. So I'm going to set up the Leech Seed, I believe, as he does switch into the Crustle. He's kind of going for a last-ditch effort, I believe, here with the Shell Smash. but I'm just going to knock that out with a Gyro Ball. I hadn't revealed it yet, but here I do reveal the Gyro Ball. I guess he was hoping I was mono knockoff, but I did pack the Gyro Ball for that thing, as well as Togekiss. And now he has his Togekiss. I do have the Aqua Berry, so Fire Blast is not going to kill me. Then able to knock him out with the Gyro Ball. And now he has a Cresselia versus my Ferrothorn, and I can just set up a Leech Seed, and he can't break my Ferrothorn. I'm recovering more than his Psychic is doing, even if he sets up. So that's going to be the GG. I'm just going to let these last turns play out. And yeah, we definitely had a very strong start to Season 4 of the JBA. And here does reveal the Colbur Berry as I expected. But yeah, Toxic plus Leechy is going to knock out. We have a very strong first game with a 6-0. Clean 6-0. So that's going to be basically all for me this week, and we're definitely going to try to continue the trend of these large differential wins going into week 2. But yeah, that's going to be all for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week. That's going to be versus Fancy, and his team is considerably more threatening, I feel, than Matt's, especially versus mine. So we're going to see that game. Going to be a good one. See you guys in that one.